Hello, it's no longer news that the monarch of the British Empire, Queen Elizabeth, will be put to rest today, and it's been a long 10-day state events with countries being invited for the burial and some other ones rejected on human rights grounds. And then it's not going down well too with some other persons who feel that they have not been forthright in 100% rating towards the human rights issues, considering the role that Britain played in most African countries, especially Nigeria. There have been criticisms as to the role the Queen played, and then and counter criticisms or accusations here and there, and people with varying opinions. Now, today, our vice president will be representing the country in that funeral service, and it also comes with mixed feelings. For me, I will say farewell to the Queen, and hoping that moving forward, even the new king will make new and better decisions with their foreign policy, because it's been felt that anything that does not protect the interest of Britain is not a policy, and then people are meant to, or other countries are meant to latch onto it or to take everything hook, line and sinker, as long as it's in the interest of those who are involved. Moving on to the political scene in the Nigerian context, we'll be looking at the candidature of the candidates of different parties. We've seen that of the APC. We've looked at the Labour Party candidature, though not 100% exhaustively like that, but we've been able to take a bite on their candidature. And today I want to talk a little bit about the PDP. Atiku is their major candidate, as he is the presidential candidate for that party. But I want to say that the PDP has failed woefully, and it has buried itself. I am saying this because it's just few days to the campaigns, and they are not able to put their house in order. And I'm saying this too because the party and its working committee has never followed due process in terms of zoning of electioning, who can buy election forms and who can participate. And now they are talking about fairness. If you also look at the approaches of that party in trying to solve their problems, they have not been forthright. They have been playing this hanky-panky, especially with the personality of the Wike governor. And then the question is also asked, what take or stake does Wike have in that party? One cannot fail to realize the role he has played over the years, according to critics who say that he has funded the PDP largely, especially when it was abandoned heavily in 2015, or between 2015 and 2019. And the question for me is, how did he support them? Is it with personal funds or state funds? That is open to scrutiny. And then another question is, if Wike is a heavyweight, can we say that he has the minds of every River State person in his hands? No doubt they might be strong in their political prowess or their how they play politics, but it doesn't also say or doesn't also account for them having the states, the members of the states, all in their hands, or their hearts in their hands, as to say that we have all about their votes, and we are sure we can pull it towards you, especially with the way politics is changing in Nigeria, and with the way young people are eager to change the narrative and the old order. One will not fail to recognize that this time around it might not be politics as usual. And then in solving problems in the PDP, they tell you if we grant most of the requests that has been made by warring factions of our party, we're going to be plunged into political crisis and or constitutional crisis. Sorry, they seem to make their party constitution the all in all. But on the other hand, too, someone from their party has argued that these are agreements or unwritten kind of agreements that was to see to their day-to-day running, meaning that it's not sacrosanct, it's something that can be changed. And then different parties have also felt that the PDP has not done what it should do or is being deceptive about the handling of the matter. Let's look at the way they handled the matter. They've been able to constitute their campaign committee with the chairman coming from the south and all that, and the camps or the antagonists in this their fight have been put as members in that committee. For me, I just feel that they've not been forthright in addressing the problems that they are facing. If you ask them, they will say it will create a constitutional crisis. And sometimes they give excuses like the one I'm going to give you now. And it's not just coming from only them. It comes from even other political parties, like things like the wife is from the east or from the south or whatever. I think even the candidate of the APC gave that particular example too, or the people, their handlers, keep giving such examples when they tell you that this person's wife is from the east, is from this place. And then the question comes, is that the national order or the constitution? Does their partner's orientation have a role to play in the structuring of the country, especially considering the fact that they have zoned this or their federal character of a thing has brought us into 6 geopolitical zones, which they say is to foster inclusiveness or give Nigerians a sense of belonging. But over time, you will discover that when each election comes, there are different permutations to justify some wrongdoings. And then the question is, are their partners the political party? Are their partners the regions? Are their partners the constitution? Those are just personal things that shouldn't be used to match the people. Well, we will keep looking at the PDP and how they intend to solve their internal problems. For me, I think the other opposition to them are rejoicing that their house is not in order and is to the advantage of those their opponents. And I think that the PDP should rise up to the occasion to fix their house. And the way it is going, I can comfortably tell you that the PDP might or has even lost this election, because they're not telling me that the aggrieved parties are going to keep quiet and rejoice and say we're working for the party. Now, I don't think that that will be the case here. They are shooting themselves in the leg the more, and it will be to the advantage of their opponents. While we watch to see how far they go in this deception or in their pretentious reconciliations and faulty house, let's see how it gets them the victory in the 2023 elections. Now, I want to come back to the candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, about their funding and some of the events that has happened there over the weekend or prior to the weekend. You will discover that certain states are still having the problems of being able to openly show their support to their preferred candidate, Peter Obi. Like I said, it's a new wave in the country, and the young people are not sitting down on their horse. They are saying that we want to do matches to show our solidarity with this candidate. Earlier it started like no structure of a thing. It is a social media phenomenon, but bet you me, every other party is also on social media. Everybody is on social media. So, and this same social media phenomenon has become concrete and something that people can see, and they are on the streets. And this same social media phenomenon is being resisted when they want to become concrete and show that they are not just a social media phenomenon. The trends have been seen in Kaduna State. It has been seen in Ebonyi State, and a trial is happening now in Lagos State, where a few number of lawyers have gone to court to link that obedient movement to the NSAS movement. Now, everybody agreed that the NSAS wasn't the problem, and that the problem came when the NSAS was hijacked. And there's also this argument that the original hijackers of the NSAS movement are those who were against it, and not the people who started it with every vigor and tried to remain true to themselves until they made their points. Now, they have refused to accept that NSAS wanted to solve a problem and not create a problem. And each time young people come out in Nigeria, they are linked to some form of violence. And then the elite group of the young people have tried in so many occasions to prove themselves worthy of leadership, worthy of taking over from the outgoing generation, and they've not been given the chance. Every effort they put is gaslighted or turned into something negative. And now the frustration that the young people feel being expressed and in the obedience movement, as they say, that all of them are running for presidency through the Obi, that and Dati candidature. Now, Lagos State seems to be a stronghold for the APC, and that strong hold is dwindling over time, especially with the controversies surrounding their candidate, and the Nigerian people or the Nigerian youth who are beginning to evolve and not want to associate with any form of crime and the narrative of people who are not true to themselves. But you see that the same negativity that has kept them down before now is still fighting back. So they link the movement of those young people to the NSAS movement, and those people went to the court, and all they are saying is that these people are going to cause problems. The NSAS is this, and they cannot prove it. Now the court had to strike out their claims. Now that's a welcome development, but we'll see in the coming days what will pan out on the movement of the Labour Party in their Lagos faction, considering the fact that that is a stronghold for the APC candidates. And then as we move on to see some of the problems, we'll see that in Ebonyi State as well, where they are saying that the police put tear gas on them and try to disperse them on the orders of the state governor. And then if you look at the trends too, this governor is an APC governor, and one of the campaign council big heads for the Labour Party, the All Progressive Congress. And being a governor of the state, he wouldn't want to be seen as a failure in returning his candidate. And for me, that is why he's pushing back through the angle of the law. And then the question comes, where is the law in that? Because earlier there were these rumors that the state government refused to give them the stadium because they were asked to pay a whooping sum of 4 million naira to be able to, then they see it as a deterrent. And when they could not raise that, they started saying that why should we pay such amount? We'll gather elsewhere. And then they also waited for them the way we put it, by the junction. So, and then when they came out, a lot of them were injured in the process. And even though they have said that they are not backing out, that is the first time in the history of Nigerian politics that the young people are holding on, and the trends are changing now as they desire so much to bet the new order. Now, this trend also repeated itself in Kaduna State, where they used the state powers to manipulate the police against the people. We want to see if these trends are going to continue in the coming days. And then there are also rumors of comments from presidential candidates of the APC trying to call its members to bury whoever comes after them in the election. And then those things seem to condition the minds of their followers into negative actions towards other people. Now, the Labour Party also has been gaslighted and said to be violent. And the question is, watching the trends in all their rallies, no atom of violence has been recorded, except there are ones that I am not aware of, because I've taken the time to go through the rallies they have conducted in the different states that it has been successful. Nobody has reported that he was maimed or whatever. What I see are just people who are wearing t-shirts branded with the candidate that they are trying to project, and then and the logo of the party involved. These are not necessarily party men and women. You have to get that clear. They are not Labour Party members, but they say we will be here to vote. And there are people who have volunteered to be on the ground to ensure the physical structures, which is the party architecture that is being talked about. And then as we see these trends, we've not been able to record a concrete violence as the labor movement is labeled violent. And then when you go on Twitter, you also look at most of the other parties, the PDP, the APC, the Kwankwaso, and NPP. You will discover that they've had rights to their opinions, saying things here and there. And then when the young people who feel that these people are not being reasonable respond in such manner, they are termed violent. And then in most cases too, you will see a blatant misbehavior that doesn't seem to be a trend. I mean, or what somebody that really wants his party or person to win elections will put up. And then the questions arise as to whether these are actual Labour Party members or obedience movement members, or people who are posing, because on social media anybody can pose to sell a narrative. While we cannot substantiate those claims on social media, we will work with what we're seeing on the ground. And then while we still watch the trends, I want to talk about the annual polls within the week, within the concluded week. You will discover that that poll said, or the result says that it's going to be a three-man race between the Labour Party and the two other major political parties, the PDP and the APC. Even though it has not gone down well with the different parties, as they say, the sample of the poll, of the analysis is not clear, and the parameters that were used. But in times past, it's been seen that these same people have conducted such polls that worked, even though there might be disparities here and there, but to a large extent, the predictions have worked. And they are saying that the opinions of Nigerians will bring to light the candidature of Peter Obi. Now, when you talk about the four fourth leading political party, that of Kwankwaso, you will discover from me that Kwankwaso has been silent, and there is this body language that I will link to what he said earlier when the candidates were announced, or towards the mid part of his emergence as a candidate. He said that if there's any other candidate he will be willing to work with, it will be Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And then the body language keeps speaking to that fact that he might be a reserve or a makeup for the APC. Because what they do most times is that if they discover they cannot win elections, they align with a bigger force that is able to compensate them after the elections. Now, so we'll keep preparing for the campaigns. Come few days from now, less than 10 days, we'll keep studying the terrains, we'll keep studying the way things are going, and we'll keep bringing you the reports. Meanwhile, let's bid the Queen a farewell. Farewell, the Queen and King Charles. Or we pray that the wisdom that your predecessor didn't have to manage differences in countries, you will be able to have. Thank you for watching. Until I come your way again, bye-bye. For now, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to promote our videos so that we can reach a larger population. Once again, thank you.